in South Africa, police are arresting illegal workers from companies, and they're charging companies for paying lower than agreed upon salary. These workers, even workers that are legal, they're getting paid under. The market works. These people want that money.
Underpaid.
They want that money. Yeah, they're underpaid, but the underpaying is
Cheap labor.
cheap labor. But the problem is that the economic system is not working properly. Some of these small businesses, they can't afford to pay more, or there's a lot of corruption. But by shutting down these stores, even the legal workers in South Africa, now they don't have jobs. So the government should not be shutting down or trying to shut down these businesses. But what they're doing is they're collecting bribes. That's the main thing. But also the South Africans are complaining that people from Zimbabwe, not even Nigerians don't work in restaurants in South Africa, but people from Zimbabwe, Mozambique are taking their jobs. The only thing I have to say is no, they're not taking the jobs. So, and the South Africans say that they don't want to get paid that low. No, even if you were going to pay, if you're working at a restaurant or whatever, like a grocery store, a supermarket, the amount of money that you're going to get paid is going to be so low in South Africa for living expenses because the country is being drained of its GDP, its money. A lot of its wealth is going to foreign companies. So there's no money in South Africa to pay blacks, to pay poor, to pay lower middle class blacks. It's not because the businesses don't want to pay. There's no money available because most of the resources in South Africa are being drained. So there's no more money around. So what I'm saying is I'm not against the government. The government can arrest foreign workers and because that's the law. But the thing is that I hear. Do you have speaker, who has speaker on?
No, I just removed my earpiece.
Okay, because I'm hearing echo to my side. Can you hear echo, Afolabi?
Yes, I hear echo as well.
Let me start this.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is that it's better now. What I'm saying is that the real problem in South Africa now is that there's no currency floating out because of corruption and because a lot of the wealth is being taken out of the country into foreign corporations. So whether you're from Zimbabwe or South Africa, there's no money. And these businesses will not pay you what you're worth because the economy is under strain. So I'm in agreement. If you want to go and arrest foreign workers, go ahead and do it. Or if you want to shut down a company because it's paying South Africans less, you're not looking at the big problem. It's the government itself that's causing the problem because they're corrupt. Julius Malema, Ramaphosa, all of them have been stealing money or through fraud from the banks, and there's no money floating. Then they blame the foreign workers. That's the only point that I have to make. What do you think, Afolabi? Yeah.
Yes, I quite agree with you. Just like the US-led Partnership for Global Infrastructure with Angola, this competition reflects a broader global shift where infrastructure and connectivity projects like the US-led Partnership for Global Infrastructure and China's Belt and Road Initiative are becoming tools of political strategy. The main thing is that initiatives are not only about economic development, but influence, alliances, and control over critical resources like green metals and copper. I basically believe that's the main reason. Control over critical resources like green metals and copper, especially in African countries.
Yeah, but I'm talking more about what's going on in South Africa with the labor problem, where they have foreigners working. I think that's not the big problem because there's two problems in South Africa. The population is suffering from trauma. There's a lot of alcohol abuse, drugs, and a lot of the jobs that people from Zimbabwe and Mozambique are working, they're jobs that Black South Africans won't take, and they'll say that it doesn't pay them enough. But my argument is that the problem that's going on with cheap labor in South Africa is that most of the wealth in South Africa is being shipped out of the country. So there's no money to pay people what they deserve. And a lot of South Africans don't want to work these jobs. But if you take away the Zimbabweans and all those people, you will not have South Africans replacing those jobs. They will still not work the job. So there's a skill problem in South Africa. Two problems. The higher types of jobs like university and professors is people from Nigeria, people from America, people from Zimbabwe working it. So South Africans can't work at those pay well. But at the lower level, the economy is so bad. South Africa is a capitalist country. Whether you're Zimbabwean or South African, business owners are not going to pay you what they can afford to pay you. And they can't even afford to pay you that because these small businesses, they're going to small coffee shops and restaurants. Those ones are also in trouble, and they're trying to cut their price margin, so they're going to pay lower. Trust me. And the thing is that I don't blame South Africans for not going to work a job that pays you $20 a month. No way. But my thing is that even when you take the Zimbabweans and every away, they're not going to offer you more than 20. So the South Africans need to look at the way their economy is working and the fact that how can you be the richest country in Africa with resources like Congo, and you don't have, and your people are starving, your people are hungry, not starving, but your people are poor. They don't have proper health care. They don't have security. In South Africa, they have a high level of rape and violence. And they're saying that it's the foreign workers that are coming that are bringing the violence. No, the violence is already inside of South Africa. Everybody, the foreigners, it's a very violent country because of what happened during apartheid. And it has so much money that everybody wants a piece of the pie. So what you're seeing with mining and everything that's going on, you see people that are very rich, then you see people who are very poor, and that leads to violence. That inequality of income.
You asked the question, you even answered it immediately, because looking at it, it is corruption, stripping of their wealth out of their country. It still boils down to yes. Now it still boils down. I have friends in South Africa that they are updating me about what is going on there. The problem there is still their leadership. If they really don't care about their own citizens, if you have a very good leader who is thinking about the welfare of their citizens, of how to grow their citizens, by now, South African GDP should be way higher. There should be so many companies coming in, creating wealth, creating jobs and all that. If because there's no more job, the little job is still boils down to the leadership. You can see the current president now. I don't know. He's just.
But here's another problem. See, when foreign companies come to invest in South Africa, they're taking the GDP out. South Africa loses 70% of its GDP to corporations. That means that when they have the profits from the mining and everything, the money is taken out of the country. You see what I'm saying? So South Africa needs to have laws which tax the corporations more so that all the currency is not leaving the